just kind of move along because we've got a big agenda, and we'll catch Edith when she gets here, and we'll catch Gary when he gets on as well. I know he answered me earlier and stuff, so maybe he's just having some technical. It happens.
Oh, yeah.
So, second, let me. All right. So I'll call it to order, and let's see. Can I get an approval of the minutes from last time?
Approval to accept the minutes?
Yep. I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Mm.
And let's see. Which ones did you get to, Jim?
We looked at Anna Linda, Knapp Road, Brickyard, and County Road 16 Bedford Drive. What's the other one?
In the Ashton Place one?
Yeah, the Ashton Place.
Okay.
There's
So you
two.
guys hit most of them.
Yeah, we did. We didn't go over to Sandy Beach because that's kind of a rehash.
Yeah. Mike, did you have any news from the development office?
Well, fortunately, it was very light this month, which we thought we were going to get slammed again. People trying to get stuff in before the laws change. But no, nothing else that I can speak of. It was, like I said, wasn't that bad this month. So it looks like next month's ECB should be pretty calm. I think we've only got
thank goodness.
10. Yeah, we got in like 10 applications overall, and a lot of them are repeats. So
okay, all righty.
Yeah, I think that's the consensus we got from talking to people today, was that they're concerned about this the all electric thing coming. They don't want to be trapped by that.
yeah, but if they didn't get their stuff in by October, they were trapped already. So,
yeah, well, apparently these people must be obviously have done that.
Yeah.
So they just got to get their approvals by the end of the year.
Yes.
Mike, do you know, I think there was like a conference room in town hall someplace now.
Yes, it's next to the clerk's office.
Okay. Do you know if that's all set up and done?
There's a table sitting in there that they're not keeping, but it's going to be there temporarily. It's not together though; it's in two pieces. So, but it is going to be the new conference room. I don't know when they're supposed to be getting that finished.
Okay.
We stood in there yesterday and had a meeting.
Okay. So it's not really done yet.
No, because they're going to put in monitors and computers and everything else.
All right.
So, yeah.
So maybe in January, maybe we can restart some in-person meetings and go from there.
Yeah.
So December we'll still meet via Zoom. Oh no, I'll get the highway because we'll have Greg attending. So for our guests, I try and do it in person. So let's see. Town board, we do have a referral from them tonight. It's the form-based code updates. It isn't the finalized version, so we will see a final version. But they were kind of looking for comments, any comments that people have, and we'll do that towards the end. Any comments that people have, so they can kind of try and incorporate some of that into the documentation, since that is going to be quite a large update. So if anybody has any comments on form-based code whatsoever, when we get down farther, we'll do that. Ordinance Committee has been working on form-based code for quite a number of months now. Let's see, I think what they're going to do in the upcoming meeting is probably catch some of the things that the staff have suggested, some code updates. There might be the chapter, is it 92, that the state is updating. So, as it comes through for adoption, those things will probably get referred out to us for any comments that we may have. So,
Hi,
did you-
sorry for being late. My old Windows operating system has finally gone kaput on my PC, so
oh, I'm sorry.
found a laptop, so I'm good.
You gotta upgrade to Windows 11.
I do.
That's okay. I didn't manage to catch hold of Edith, and she did show up at town hall, so
Okay. Oh,
so I was taking care of some of the other housekeeping stuff first.
yeah.
And after we do referrals, we'll talk about the budget. We're gonna have Greg Reynolds at our December meeting, so we'll try and meet in person at the Highway Building in December. But today, Jared couldn't meet. He had a reschedule that became a conflict, so he bowed out on our meeting today. And we'll catch him or the new supervisor in the future,
Oh,
because that's still undecided.
Still undecided.
How long does it take to do that? That's something about could take weeks.
It could take till Thanksgiving.
That's
Do
the
they have to
deadline.
do a recount? Do they do a recount on that because it's so close, or they just got to do the open up the absentee or whatever the ballots
Yeah,
are?
they're just waiting for 27 absentee ballots.
Oh, boy.
my guess is they probably would recount too, given it was so close.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean he
what
won by one vote, so I think they would do a recount.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would think so. That's pretty, boy, I'll tell you that, we were laughing about that. Boy, you talk about, but your vote doesn't count. Well, it surely would there.
Yep. So let's see. We'll get started. I think we have one guest. Ryan, you're here for the Ashton Place one?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Perfect.
If
9
we
and
can,
10, or 10 and 11 on the agenda, yes.
yeah, we can start with that. We try and work on our guest things first, and then we circle back around. So
Appreciate it.
yep, if you want to give an introduction, I'll start bringing up the files for that.
Yeah, and I added a file about an hour ago to both
Okay.
the preliminary application and the final phase one, and it's an overall site plan rendering, so it'll be a good exhibit to.
It's the same file in both?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
We can actually, if you want to talk about them together, a lot of times when we have these things that kind of overlap,
Yeah.
we just talk about them together. We don't cover it separately, so
Sure.
it makes it a little easier.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, that's a pretty rendering.
Thank you.
There we go. Alrighty.
Okay, so I know this application was in front of you previously. I believe Anthony Venezia introduced it during the sketch plan review process. I'll just go through a quick overview for everybody once again to familiarize yourself with it. The subject property totals 44.1 acres. It's located in the town's Southern Corridor Residential SCR1 zoning district, and also the Scenic Viewshed Overlay district per NRI map 11, which is lands visible from Canandaigua Lake. And the subject property is located on the west side of Westlake Road and to the south of Ashton Place and Bedford Drive. This proposal is for a conservation subdivision pursuant to section 278, the cluster subdivisions of the New York Town Law, and also per section 174-16 cluster subdivisions of the Town Code. The proposal is for the development of 38 single-family home lots with a minimum lot area of 20,000 square feet. If you recall, during the sketch plan application, at that point, there were 42 single-family lots, so we've removed 4 of them. And they're primarily in the southwestern corner of the parcel where that gap is. That was a wooded area containing steep slopes. So we pulled those lots off of the steep slope areas. And per the town's cluster subdivision guidelines, this proposal also protects over 40% of the area of the parent parcel within permanent conservation easements. On October 24th, the ZBA did grant an area variance to allow reduction of the minimum lot area in the Scenic Viewshed Overlay District from 1 acre or 43,560 square feet to 20,000 square feet minimum. And I'll just highlight how this project meets several of the town the goals in the town code for section 174-16. The first one being achieve a balance between well-designed development, meaningful open space conservation, and natural resource protection in the town of Canandaigua by requiring conservation subdivisions instead of conventional subdivisions, which is what we're proposing. Allow for residential development on lots that are smaller than would otherwise be permitted in the applicable zoning district in exchange for protection of the conservation assets identified in the town's inventory. Third goal that this project meets, encourage the placement of lots and design of streets in a manner that results in a more efficient provision of infrastructure and delivery of public services, and that supports a walkable and socially cohesive community. And if you'll note, we do show a sidewalk, concrete sidewalk along one entire side of the proposed road network. The fourth goal that this project meets, maintain and preserve the natural, agricultural, scenic, and cultural assets identified in the town's natural resource inventory. And the final one, advance the goals of the town's comprehensive plan. And we feel that this proposal does meet all of those town goals, which I just identified. As part of this, the overall preliminary subdivision application, we did submit a complete conservation subdivision analysis. And that has been included with the overall preliminary subdivision application materials on the cloud permit. We also did provide conventional plan exhibits, which show that by complying with the town code requirement for the underlying SCR1 and SBO districts, the parcel as developed with 1 acre lots would not include any open space areas in permanent conservation easements. And the individual lot owners would have a lot more flexibility to remove virtually all the trees and existing vegetation on their lots. So the conservation subdivision that we're proposing, as you can see, the wooded areas that are being preserved, we are providing over 17 acres, 17.6 acres in permanent conservation easement areas. So we're providing over 40% of the parent parcel within conservation easement. We did present this application to the Ontario County Planning Board on October 9th, and they were in favor of the proposed cluster subdivision layout for the development. And just finally, in summary, the town code and the comprehensive plan both recommend single-family subdivisions to be developed via a cluster subdivision approach, as we've shown, with smaller lots. That's both to protect the town's natural resources and then also reduce the development footprint. With a smaller development footprint, that also means less disturbance area and then also less infrastructure for the town to maintain via the road network, which we're proposing to be dedicated to the town of Canandaigua, and then also the utilities as well. So that's a brief overview. I'm happy to entertain any of your questions at this point.
The blue area over there on the south side, is that like a retention pond?
Yes, that would be a proposed stormwater management facility, a detention pond.
Okay, so all the water that comes down the street is gonna be, and try to be diverted into that pond?
Correct. The road will have concrete gutters bordered on both sides, and that will convey water to gutter inlets, which will convey the stormwater runoff from the houses, the road network, and the majority of the lots to the storm sewer system on site, which will convey it to the on-site stormwater management facility, which is shown in that light blue area in the southeastern corner of the parcel. That will detain the water, the surface runoff from this parcel, and reduce it and release it at reduced peak runoff rates from the existing conditions to the existing stream to the east prior to ultimately discharging into Canandaigua Lake.
Okay, so if it overflows, it'll discharge into that creek and not over into the properties on the Westlake Road?
Correct. The emergency spillway for that pond is in the southeastern corner area of the stormwater management facility, and that emergency spillway is designed in an area, so should it overflow, should the outlet structure become compromised at one point, the overflow would be conveyed directly to the stream and not into any of the adjoining lots to the east.
Mhm. Did you say the gutters were also gonna be tied into that stormwater?
So at the edge of the asphalt pavement, there would be concrete gutters. The
No, I
gutters
meant
will,
the gutters from the houses,
oh, yeah, I'm sorry, the downspouts, the roof leaders
downspouts.
will be conveyed via storm laterals to the storm sewer system along the roadway, which will convey that to the pond.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Any measures to decrease impervious surfaces in the development?
Yes, by proposing the conservation subdivision rather than a conventional subdivision, that significantly reduces the impervious area from the road network, the concrete sidewalks. Also, we are minimizing the development footprint, so that reduces impervious areas, reduces the soil disturbance area, and while also preserving, as I mentioned, over 40% of the lands in the parent parcel within conservation easements.
Mhm. And how much of the conservation easement is steep slope? Do you know how many acres?
I have it right here. Just give me 1 second. So the existing steep slope area is approximately 3 acres. And approximately 2.6 of them are proposed to be saved within conservation easement areas.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
So that's, yeah, as I pointed out in the presentation earlier, the southwestern corner, there's a gap between the lots around the edge of the loop. That is the steep slope area. And when we came through previously and presented this application as part of a sketch plan application, the lots were completed around that circle. So we removed the lots from the steep slope area as part of this application.
Are you going to, like in the wooded areas that you're gonna remain, are you gonna be cleaning out the dead ash in those areas? Cause I know there's a lot of dead ash trees in that parcel.
Yes, there are dead ash trees. It's primarily composed of, or a high majority of ash black
Black.
walnut trees, so they're lower quality trees.
Right.
I'm not sure about cleaning up all of the trees, but definitely trees along the perimeter of the proposed residential lots. Anything that could compromise or potentially fall into the lots would look to be prevented and cleared back.
Including the lots on Bedford Drive.
If it is a dead tree, yes, that could certainly be incorporated into the tree removal to prevent falling onto their lot as well.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, because I know, I'm familiar with a lot of those properties there, and I know there is a lot of dead ash trees along there.
Yep.
And they'll fall on the people's property, you know that.
Mhm.
When you say that the black walnut is low quality, are you talking all black walnuts or just black walnuts that are of like marginal health?
The latter, marginal. I'm not implying that all black walnuts are lower quality.
Okay. Well, some people have a real thing against them, and
Yeah.
that's coming out that there's not a lot behind people saying that they're keeping other things from growing. It's kind of almost like one of those urban myth sorts of things.
Yep.
So
Now,
I just want to like be clear on that, because some people talk about how like they're just trash to begin with,
No.
and they're really not.
No,
No.
that wasn't the implication.
Okay.
Their detriment is, if they're overhanging onto a roadway or a pathway and then they drop.
Okay. All
The
right.
nut,
onto
yeah,
pathway.
the nuts are a problem.
If you have bicyclists or walkers, and then it could be an issue, but
Mhm.
yeah.
But is there any way to, I know you just went to the ZBA, but is there any way to shrink the envelopes of the home areas any more than they already are? It would be less mowing, you would preserve more of the wooded area, and the wooded area seems kind of fragmented in what you're keeping here. It would be nice if it could be more of a larger contiguous area. Um,
So we are, under the post-development condition, we are keeping approximately a little over 13 acres of the existing woods on the site. I do hear that was brought up with the planning board or the ZBA as well about the fragmentation. But what I'd like to point out that, given the geometry of the site being rectangular, narrower width, longer, as it's currently shown, we're trying to blend a development that provides conservation easement and natural buffers on all sides of the development. So we're trying to balance it with the alignment of the road network. We're trying to balance the cuts and fills on the existing slopes. And if you notice, we're providing a wooded buffer on all four sides, the eastern side, along the northern side. There's a significant contiguous area along the western side, and we're also providing like a 6-acre buffer along the central area to the south as well. So we're trying to balance it rather than pushing all of the wooded area to say the west, and then clearing everything on the eastern, northern, and southern portions of the site. So we feel that this does provide large contiguous areas. As I said, the central wooded area along the south is around 6 acres. Along the west, and then continuing to the northern area, that's approximately, or that's over, it's approximately, where is it? Maybe, I don't know. So the conservation easement area in the central southern area is approximately 6 acres, and the conservation easement area along the west and then the northern area is approximately 12 acres in size. So there will be a significant portion along the western front and along the northern front, southern area, as well as the eastern buffer. So we're trying to balance it is basically the approach we're taking. Rather than keeping the road network along one whole entire side of the development or another. That's why the
Well,
road network swoops
yeah.
down to the south and comes back up, because we're trying to balance it and provide buffers on all sides of the development.
Well, I will be clear. I'll make that recommendation that, you know, to look at it to see if there is a way to shrink the envelopes for the different houses so you could conserve more.
Mhm.
I know Pierce Brook, they did a conservation subdivision and they actually made it quite small around the home areas. So I know it, you know, it's possible.
Yeah,
I don't
and I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
I was just gonna point out that, this development is very similar to all of the home sizes and lot sizes to the north in Bedford Drive. They're comparable in size. Some are even smaller than the lots in Bedford Drive. So we are, you know, keeping, in comparison with the existing lots, surrounding this development, we are, similar in size and stature for the lots as well. And that in Bedford Drive to the north, as you noticed, doesn't have any conservation easement area. So we're providing
Yeah.
at least, lots as small or smaller potentially in some instances, but also maintaining 40% of the lands within conservation easement area, permanent conservation easement areas.
What
Yes, the
size-
homeowners probably will be planting trees on their properties too, which will help with runoff and with canopy and everything else too, once they are established.
Yeah, and we are
Or
proposing
below
on our
trees.
landscaping plan, and you can see it on this,
Mhm.
this rendering as well, a street tree for each lot.
Yeah,
We would
Yeah.
encourage a native species,
Yes.
oh yeah.
especially that you're keeping all this natural area around it. The more that the homeowners can stay with native species, the better that will be for the habitat there.
Yes,
Absolutely. We have a licensed landscape architect at the NE Associates, and all of the landscaping proposed includes native species.
Okay.
very good.
So they will be landscaped around the houses.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that will be up to the individual homeowners will have the ability to do foundation plantings and provide additional plantings. From the site development component, each lot we're providing at least one street tree. And then,
Okay.
you know, because the homes will be tailored to the individual homeowner, so they'll have the ability to add, you know, additional landscaping and buffering as they see fit on their individual lots.
Okay, so they'll be landscaped before lawns are put in.
The street trees will be,
Right.
yes,
Trees will be.
yep.
We
But I mean, you won't
definitely
have lawn, right? You won't put in a lawn right up to the edge of the house and then go back in and let the homeowner landscape them.
So the individual house will be constructed. They will then, the lot will be mass graded, right? They'll construct the house, the foundation and everything. They'll start with the siding and the major portion of the structure. Then they'll come back with topsoil, spread the topsoil on the lot. The street trees will be planted, and then the area around the house will be seeded with permanent lawn seed.
Okay. But right up to the foundation then,
Um,
unless you have a landscape plan ahead of time, you'd have
Yes.
to do that.
yeah, correct.
Okay.
I would encourage that the HOA, because this will have an HOA, correct?
Yeah, we'll have an HOA for the primary purpose of owning, being the ownership entity of, and responsible for the HOA lands, I'm sorry, for the permanent conservation easement lands.
each individual homeowner will be responsible for their own property though, their lawn, mowing, et cetera.
Yes.
Yep, correct.
Mhm.
Well, if the HOA can pass along any communications with the homeowners, we definitely would encourage, the Lake Smart Lawn Care, native species in their landscaping,
Mhm,
different things like that. So,
absolutely.
I mean,
Mhm.
they're
Well,
they're
the
just up
H,
from the lake, so
yeah. Will the HOA be responsible for maintenance on the stormwater pond?
Yes,
Okay,
yep. An easement will be provided to the town of Canandaigua, in the event of an emergency, but the
Good,
maintenance, the
yeah.
typical maintenance responsibilities will be of the HOA.
okay, good, thank you.
I had a couple questions. I guess to follow up with the stormwater area, is that just treated as mowed lawn for the purpose of after construction, or do you guys plan on doing plantings or anything there to kind of also inhibit the water flow?
So it will be lawn area, around the facility. We can work out whether that's, longer grasses that are mowed intermittently throughout the year to provide an additional buffer or not. It just depends on the aesthetic that the HOA might be looking for, but part of the design of the stormwater management facility does include, shrubs and plantings to meet the New York State DEC stormwater management design guidelines as well. So there will be landscaping, and you can kind of see some of the shrubs are along the perimeter of the pond in this exhibit, but the design plans that were submitted with this application show in further detail
Okay.
the seating limits and the proposed landscaping to meet the DEC requirements for the stormwater management facility.
What was sorry, what was the I guess the storm rate that was based off of? Was it in the notes and I just missed it? Is that
The pond, per the DEC standards that we're showing that the pond has to detain and release the 10-year and the 100-year storms at rates that are less than the existing conditions.
Okay.
So the stormwater management design, we provided a full SWIP, full drainage report with our applications, in compliance with the design has been per the town of Canandaigua as well as the DEC design standards.
Okay. I guess another question I had, kind of not related to that, but I know through the various revisions we've seen of this and changing around, I guess the preserved areas and whatnot. In the past one, there was more, I guess, preserved lands towards the steep slopes on the western side there, and I noticed that some of the new lots there kind of infringe in the steep slope area. I guess what was kind of the thought behind that and the new sketches there? Because that was a large part initially that was, I mean, preferred to be captured too in the conservation area just because of its sensitivity. And now it seems some of those lots are cutting into that steep slope that's there on the western edge.
If you're able to pull up the conservation subdivision analysis from the cloud permit, I could show you that with this new layout, we have
Which-
removed some lots to
which application is that in? I'm sorry.
the preliminary application, so it would be,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry, I was going off one of the detail sheets in the final one.
Nope, you're fine.
If you
Number
see it
10,
before,
two more down. 10, one up, well, nope, it's 10, yeah, that one, correct. So skip down to page 6, please. Yeah, if you can show the full screen or zoom out.
it's a big one.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right, so this is just a straight existing conditions map. Please go to the next slide. All right, so that's the steep slope area on the west in the cyan color.
Mhm.
And then if you go to the next slide, see how we've avoided the majority of that. We had a couple more lots to the south of that last one on the southeastern corner. So we pulled the lots away from the steep slope area. And as I mentioned previously, where was I? The existing steep slope area is approximately 3.0 acres, and that's the full limits of that Cyan area. The proposed development, there's approximately 2.6 acres of the existing steep slope area that will be preserved in the conservation easement area, the permanent conservation easement area shown in the blue lines.
Hmm.
Right, so I guess my question would be why bother put, I mean, I know why, but the additional ones that are put there that are in the steep slope, when they can just be lopped off there and have that more contiguous preserved land there instead of cutting into the steep slopes.
It's really just a narrow finger of the steep slope. Really, the primary areas of the steep slopes are really along the southern property line. That's where the majority of the large, vast, contiguous area of that is. This is just, it's really just a thin finger. We're talking like a 10-foot wide strip.
Right. Well, I guess to further that, I guess those are also the largest lots you are proposing, I guess, within the various constructions. Sorry, I apologize for my little one. So it seems like some of that overlap could be avoided by shrinking those down. I think Kim was mentioning that earlier, if there's any way to shrink down the envelopes of these properties, because there more than likely will be more intrusiveness when they're doing the development, especially in those lots 16 and 15 that are there.
Yeah.
So it's just
And-
something, it's a low hanging fruit in my view.
Yep.
That can be avoided, any issues that might be there that would exacerbate the steep slopes and any additional runoff that would be occurring.
Yeah, good point.
So, yep, and we completely understand that, and the main goal of this proposed conservation subdivision, rather than doing 1 acre lots under the conventional zoning, was to minimize the disturbances to any of the natural resource areas, including the steep slope areas. There's this quirky section of the town code, right? So the underlying SCR1 zoning is minimum lot size of 1 acre, right? The town code and the comprehensive plan both recommend conservation subdivisions with smaller lots. But because it's also located in the southern, or in the scenic viewshed overlay district, that has this weird writing in the code which says that the minimum lot size in the scenic viewshed overlay district, even with a conservation subdivision, the minimum lot size is 1 acre, right? So that's already the underlying lot size. So in order to reduce the footprint and meet the town's goals of protecting the natural resources, we had to go to the ZBA, and we had to get approval just to do these 20,000 square foot lots. So we've already gone through this, if you want to call it an extra hurdle, to try and reduce these footprints. And we think we've done a good job. As I mentioned, we did have lots that actually, when we came through previously and presented this sketch plan application, there was 42 lots. We're showing 38 lots. 38 lots are what can be provided under the conventional zoning. So with that 38 lots, we're keeping the same number of lots and the same density, but we're significantly reducing the footprint with this application.
Right. Yeah,
So
I'm
to
just
reduce them anymore would require another variance on top of the one that we already just
so
obtained.
I guess not to get too granular in the discussion, if you focus on lot 15,
Yep.
that one kind of stands out because that one is 27,000 square feet opposed to the majority that are between 20 and 23.
Okay.
So if that got, if that was shaved down to match the other ones, you avoid that issue with the overlap of I guess the steep slope area.
Understood. Yep. That's
And
certainly
then
something that we
furthermore,
can-
like 16, like just seems to avoid the conflict of that even more, just lop that one off or add it to 2 of the other properties. I know you guys I know you financially, it makes more sense to have more homes, more lots, therefore, you know, higher revenue. Just like little things like that seem like they could be clarified. And then
I
also
wouldn't say-
with that, I guess, because you guys have like these giant riprap areas outlining the development properties.
Mhm.
The waters that would be coming down those steep slopes, correct me if I'm wrong, would be, you know, basically feeding into those riprap areas that wrap around kind of the northern section and then get piped out underneath the homes to the southern section and down to the stormwater, correct?
Mm.
And that just, I mean, that'll just add to the intensity. I know it's designed appropriately and stuff, but those are some things that could be future issues with the amount of water that might not be anticipated coming out of those areas into those lots that has to be, you know, evacuated and run around.
Yep.
My 2 cents.
Yep,
That's it.
no, I appreciate all of your input, and I would just say, I would just caution saying like more lots equals more revenue. It's more density also decreases the costs of the lots too for the prospective homeowners as well.
100%, 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's definitely a fine balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not envious of your position.
I have a quick question back to the HOA and thinking about landscaping. So can the HOA in this situation limit what things owners are allowed to do in terms of plantings?
On their individual lots?
Yeah,
Potentially, I just don't know how the HOA will be set up yet. That's to be determined. I don't know if the HOA will have any control over the individual lots per se. Their responsibility, you know, I can say for certain would be definitely over the permanent conservation easement areas.
yeah, I was just curious. I know in some HOAs, you know, you're limited about what you're allowed to do in your yard or things like that. And so it would be, in a conservation situation, it would seem like an HOA would want to promote plantings that were consistent with conservation. So, you know, so no, you know, all natives, no invasives, those kinds of things.
Yep.
Will there be like lights on the houses, or will there be like a light on a post out by the end of the driveway? Will those be dark sky compliant, or at least be on like a motion sensor or something? I know a lot of people don't understand you know,
Yeah.
like the homeowners don't understand the dark sky compliant, but as dark as we can keep this area, it will be better for the views from the lake and better for the wildlife. And so that would be a suggestion.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know the answer. I think we're not, so we are not proposing individual post lights, you know, adjacent to the
Okay.
driveways in each lot. So that's not proposed with this development. Certainly, if an individual homeowner wanted to do that, I believe they would have the ability to do that. They would just have to apply for whatever
Yeah.
permits will be required for that. I would suspect that the houses might have, you know, a light that they could turn off or on adjacent to the front door and probably on one or both sides of the garage doors as well.
Mhm.
Other than that, we're not proposing any other lights within the subdivision except one street light at the intersection of the looped road where it loops back onto itself.
Okay.
Yeah, I say that.
And that's really the only light that we're proposing on the property, and that would be meet the dark sky compliance standards.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, there's a picture of the post and everything, 14-foot mounted height, direct burial light pole detail.
Correct. That's on drawing number 14, our landscape and lighting plan.
Yep.
Well, that would definitely, again, along with like landscaping, be things to, you know, pass along to the homeowners. There's good reasons to do these things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, having your lights on some sort of motion sensor, it still lets people have the security they need, but
Mhm.
it helps keep the place darker, which helps wildlife and just having things feel more natural out there for all the the neighborhood, so.
Yes, I
um,
agree.
Now, will the conserved areas be marked out? So nobody goes like cutting things down or planting things in the conserved areas, it will all be clear to them? We've had this trouble in other places, so.
Yeah. Lawn creep.
Yeah,
Yes.
basic, I mean, and it occurred, I think, in Bedford Drive when we reviewed this, you know, a
Mhm.
couple of revisions ago where people had pushed it all the way back to the property boundaries.
Or onto this Ashton parcel perhaps. too.
Yeah.
Next parcel, yes.
Um,
We've seen this in other ones too.
yeah, so offhand, I'm not sure if the town code requires conservation easement markers along the borders of it. We would certainly do whatever is required by the town code and to be in full compliance with the town policies.
Well, maybe this is something that the HOA could take, since they're going to be responsible for the conserved areas.
Yep.
And maybe that can be something that they make sure to communicate with the residents.
So,
Assuming you clear these hurdles, what's your timeline for further development?
all right, so I represent BME Associates, the site engineer for this. Venezia Associates would own the property. They would work with a general contractor to do the site work operations. I mean, ultimately, the goal, assuming everything falls into place, it would be spring construction.
Mhm. Okay.
And it's only going to be cleared a phase at a time?
Yes, and if you can go back to the original rendering we were looking at, that's
Sure.
one thing I can point out too. The project is intended to be completed in 3 phases. The first phase, in the phase lines are those dashed yellow lines. So the first phase will have 10 lots coming so it'll be developed from east to west, from where it meets the existing Ashton Place, the first 10 lots, and then the next whatever 11 or 12, and then the remainder of the loop would be the third phase.
And the road would kind of be extended with each phase?
Yes. So the
Okay.
road would terminate in a temporary turnaround for emergency vehicles, plows, stuff like that. And then with each new section at that point, then the clearing would happen for that phase, the earthwork operations, and then the road network as well.
Because I think that's really important that we just don't have a massive clearing, because some of
Yep.
these other phases may be further off, so.
Yep. And from the developer's perspective, they wouldn't want to pay for any more than they have to without,
Yeah,
building lots at that point for a return. So, it may extend slightly beyond the phase limits just to get the earthwork balance as necessary, but yes, the general approach would be to clear for each phase, do the earthwork for each phase individually, and then move on to the next phase once that phase is complete. Or they choose to move on to the next phase. So,
and so are the limits of disturbance really the tree line that's indicated on here?
yes, that's the tree lines represent the limits of the proposed grading as part of this application. So that would be they're shown at the limits of the disturbance.
Okay. Any other comments or questions from anyone?
None here.
No,
Are
All
there
set.
are there any issues with the power? Because of all the issues with RG&E getting power
Yes.
to a lot of these communities? Is that already resolved for you?
Early indications are that the site should be able to be served by RG&E. We are following up with it. I'm fully aware I have one large project in Farmington that's on hold because of RG&E's request for $4.5 million of upgrades for their infrastructure. So I know like the northern portion of Canandaigua along the 332 corridor, that has power shortage issues. But from our initial conversations with RG&E, this area shouldn't be affected as much by a lack of power. We are following up with that though. But early indications are that it should be able to serve the property.
Yeah, because these are going to be all electric houses, I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
That's
if
what code
the-
says.
Yeah, unless they decide to postpone it, but we'll see.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you all for your time. I really appreciate your input and look forward to moving this application forward. So thank you for your input.
All right.
Have a good night, everybody.
Yep.
You
Thank
Take
too.
care.
Bye.
So is this new for Venezia to do projects like this?
I believe they've done some others that are a
Other
smaller,
subdivisions? Yeah, but nothing this
smaller,
size. Okay,
yeah.
interesting.
I apologize, Edith. I tried to email, but I didn't have your phone number, so I couldn't get a hold of you.
That's okay. I wish that was just the worst thing that had happened today, but it's not even in the running.
I'm
Hey.
sorry.
No,
One of
it's
those
okay.
You
Yes,
know, it would
everybody
be,
has them.
it'd be helpful maybe to have a list of everybody's name and cell numbers just in the event.
Yeah, I'll email that.
Okay.
I'll
We'll do
email
that.
that request out. I won't do anything online here because we don't want
No.
to share any of that.
Right.
Good.
So I felt bad. Mike said
It's-
that you had showed up at the
Happens,
town.
not a big, no, it's fine. Not to worry.
We can move along. Yeah, Jared had had a conflict, so he didn't join us. So I thought, well, maybe it might be easiest for everyone. We just Zoom again tonight. Let's see. Mike, do you know about the 4066 on Olinda?
Yeah, Kristen handled this one, but it's basically simple. It's a vacant lot. They're putting on a new house. It does have steep slopes, but they're right in the front on the eastern side of the property. Everything else is flat. So there's nothing spectacular about this one. Just where the driveway is going to be hitting, it's going to hit like a steep slope. But
I
other
did
than that, yeah.
I did enjoy that Bill put like the little graphic on here with the steep
Yeah.
slope.
Uh-huh.
So definitely encourage people to do that because I think it's helpful for everyone that
Yeah,
looks at the
absolutely.
plans.
Yeah, we visited this site and spoke with the homeowner. They're actually building a house. So the homeowner is on the east side of Olinda, building this house for a child. He's actually an orthopedic surgeon who's going to be working in Canandaigua. So yeah, the driveway will, per the application, avoid cutting down too many trees. So instead of going directly up to the house, taking this kind of circuitous route. Yeah, I mean, Jim pointed out the trees are not, high value, but they're holding soil together, I guess.
They're holding those slopes
Yeah,
on.
right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is that there were a lot of I think they're red pine and they've got disease and insect issues, I believe. And And so they probably, getting rid of them isn't gonna be a bad thing, because they're gonna die anyways.
This one was noted on Encore as having a conifer plantation.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. That's
Ah.
exactly what it looks like.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the elder fosters the husband is a beekeeper, so there's a bunch
oh,
of hives, a bunch of hives on the hillside.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we went up and kicked them.
Yes. Got
Just
in your
for-
running for the day, huh?
Just
Yeah.
for our audience, that's a joke. Yeah, I noticed that they've got a rain garden, and it's like in this little pocket, and I don't know how much sunlight they may or may not get to their garden. So I suggested that the homeowner monitor their plants for robustness. If they find something's not doing well, they may need to figure out some other species to put in
I
there.
think it's a little more shade tolerant if there's
Yeah.
too much shade. Yeah. Yeah, there are things.
So I
That's-
thought that might be a good note for them, other than they're going to have to do maintenance on it. And so that's going to have to be clear. And I think the planning board has been noting, having the engineers note something on the plan. So hopefully. I saw the limits of disturbance, so I mean, if they can minimize tree removal, that would be great. Did you have any other comments?
No.
Anyone?
No,
No.
No, this one was straightforward.
Mhm.
Steep slopes. I would encourage the landowner, if they decide that they want to remove more trees, to work with the town first, because they may need a permit or something of that nature. So I've been trying to mention that on a lot of these, so people can't say that they didn't know.
well, she also said they're gonna try and preserve as many trees, if no, for no other reason, for privacy from the upper houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
I would if I was, down here where there's a lot of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
okay. Native landscaping, dark sky compliant, all our normal stuff. Anything else anybody wants to suggest? I did see they had geothermal marked on here, Gary.
Yeah, and that I had actually he's the owner is a friend of mine, and I talked up
Ah.
my geothermal system, so he
Oh, very nice.
went that route.
Well, thumbs up for him.
Yes.
There you go.
Excellent.
So, alrighty, we will move along then if that's
Mhm.
it. Knapp Road had a site plan and a variance. I think so. Let me see.
It was something about the driveway was too close to a lot line, I
Oh,
think.
yeah. That's you're exactly right.
Mhm.
Other than that, looked pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
No, I don't see no trees of
Mhm.
any consequence.
Yeah, I don't care if their driveway's next to the property line. That doesn't. Whoops, wrong way.
Yeah, there's some steep slopes, but removed from where they'll be building.
Mhm.
When that happens where it's too close to another property line, does that require the other owner to sign off on it?
I know it's definitely a variance. And that's what their variance is for, their driveway. I think it goes to a shared driveway. So they
Yes.
would they would definitely need to have, you know, that shared access easement done and that sort of stuff. All the property all agree to what's going on, but
Mhm.
yeah, they since that is a zero setback the way it is, that's why they needed the variance. This is in the strategic forest protection area, so I would suggest that they plant some native canopy trees.
I'm surprised that's in the town of Canandaigua. That almost seems like it's in Bristol.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
The strategic forest protection area is all in the south of Canandaigua, the town. Up in the north, we have the ag protection areas, and down in the south, there's the forest ones.
Forest, yeah.
So just as a, you know, a nod to that, if they can plant some canopy trees, that would be great. Oaks, maples, you know, whatever they have a preference for, it would be nice. That was it, other than
Okay.
don't remove any more trees than they have to.
Mhm.
Yep.
Let's see, so that's the two of them. Nobody had any problems with the variance, right?
No.
No.
Alrighty. We are getting this reviewed back to us. It got reviewed back to all the referrals. It's the cell tower that we looked at last year
Oh,
in County Road 8.
the recurring cell tower. Wow.
See.
It's been quite a thing. They were on the third location. And now the new property owner, because it got sold, the new property owner is considering a fourth location, which we don't have. Oh, wait, is there something new? Is today 6? Oh, I guess the letter came in today.
Okay.
Mike, do you know if this one is going to be location 4? Oh, that's what it says here.
Yeah, look at that. It says right there.
Okay, so location 4 is a treed area that's next to the agricultural parcel that this was supposed to go on. And so they will do up a whole new application because it's actually on a different parcel. And it looks like they're planning on a January sort of time frame. So I would say we could just move this along and not even talk
Yeah.
about it, because we'll see different plans and stuff come later on with the new location.
Sounds good.
Or wait till location 5 turns up. Yeah.
Yeah, location 5.
Mhm.
All right, Sandy Beach.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oy vey, Sandy Beach.
Would you like to
Oh.
talk about this one, Mark or Mike?
Yeah, they already have like so little green space on that property as it is. But it is separated. Kim brought this up this morning. It's separated by a private road, so the front part near the lake is required to have 50% maximum. And with the addition, they are exactly at 50%. But overall, they're only supposed to have 30. So they're going to be 41.1% over on lot coverage, and the front setback is going to be way too close. So I don't know what you can do over on Sandy Beach. It's not, you know, if anybody's gonna do any improvements, it's always gonna end up with variances. It's just overcrowded over there. So
I think as the ECB, we can't support people asking for more lot coverage than what's allowed.
exactly. No, you're right.
So we would have to suggest denial, unless anybody feels differently. Um,
No, they know the rules.
yeah. I mean, these places are small, and I'm kind of the opinion there are other places to have big houses and big patios and big
It's
garages
just the,
and all
it's
this.
just the
and this
wrong
isn't-
place for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Go buy something someplace else.
I got a problem for you.
100%. I would say if they're keeping, I think there's some retained trees and stuff, they would have to mark out a root zone for whatever construction they do, so they don't have the construction vehicles on it. They're adding no new vegetation in their plans, but they could definitely add something on the other side of the road.
Mhm. So it's a bisected lot.
It's a
The
bisected lot.
the lake side, the residence is covering how much?
50%.
Yeah,
Okay.
with the addition, it'll be 50% exactly.
Okay.
So
But then
That's
if
the
you,
limit.
yeah,
that's,
okay,
yeah, that's the limit they can have there. But
yeah,
overall, they're already over, and it's got to go to the
Alright.
town board because they're already hitting two pre-existing nonconformities to try to make them worse.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's got to go to the town board?
Yeah, it has to go to the, to the planning board first.
Oh, the planning board.
Planning board.
Before it goes to zoning, yeah.
Mhm.
I would say they definitely can remove some impervious surface, because I mean they've got a big patio, they've got walkways. There are this place that they can remove some of that. I guess what's the most important to them, really. I don't know. Huh. Did anyone have any other comments on this? It's like a lot of our other comments, I think, on these places down at Sandy Beach and Poplar Beach and Huh.
Yeah, I think better explaining the bisected lots in the code is a good thing. But you wonder if further, further tweaking of or zoning of this area needs to be looked at because this comes up constantly.
Yes, it's a continuing problem.
I think if more of these get denied at the zoning board, and some have recently, I think if more get denied, I think we would see less of them too.
Maybe, people will back off.
They wouldn't expect an automatic approval,
Mhm.
which they kind of do.
Yeah.
So,
so our recommendation is denial, right, on this one?
Yes.
yes.
And we've done that before in some of these. Do we know how many of our denials have resulted in denials at the zoning board level, or?
More recently they have been, Mike can answer this, but more recently they
zoning
have been
board-
denying.
Yes, the zoning board takes what is said here very seriously, and if you read the minutes, they really appreciate your opinions on this, especially stuff like this, because like you said, these people just expecting, they'll just pass it, they'll just give it to us. But then they look at this and well, it's the same as the rest of the neighborhood. Yeah, then the next person, and Dave Emery is great for this. He'll say, yeah, but then the next person is going to say, well, it's in scope of the neighborhood. Before you know it, every house is going to be just house and no land. And so, yeah, the zoning board has been denying things that you have recommended, that the Ontario County Board has recommended denying. So it has been working.
Well, good on them.
I think one of the things that has helped is I'm now including the zoning board on our minutes. When I email them out, they're getting the email copy, and I think that's helping for them to actually see them. So whatever works. I'm happy to like put them on the email. So
When people buy, these properties sell and people buy them, are they made aware of these restrictions at those times, or?
A lot of people actually, when they're buying, will call us and they patch them through to me and they say, all right, what are the regulations? What can I do? What can I do?
Hmm.
And I will either explain it over the phone, or I'll say, give me your email and I'll send you all our code stuff for that location. And so a lot of time you never hear from them again. So, they
That's
want to come
good.
in and demolish it and put up, a 15-story building. I'm like, nah, not on the lake. So.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So that
Right.
that was something that got added by the ordinance committee to what we proposed for the bisected lot is if it's a tear down and rebuild, it's got to be on the same
Right.
footprint.
Yeah, that was
Yep.
good.
And,
Yeah,
and I'm
that's the
like,
way it
I
should be.
love that. That was something really good that they added. Mike, I have a question. This
Sure.
existing infiltration trench, is it just a ditch?
Let's see. Oh, right there.
Yeah, it's that purple line.
Yeah, it's just a ditch.
So it
It's
just
an
runs
old-
to the lake.
Yeah, it's an old swale that was there. That's all.
Mhm.
I would hope that they would do something a little bit more to slow the water, to filter the water, rather than just let the ditch carry it right out to the lake.
Yeah.
Especially with their 50% of impervious on that side.
Yes.
I'm assuming it's lawn area, a lawn ditch.
Yeah, which means it's just gonna run. It's
Mhm.
Right.
but if they could, I don't know.
Yeah, something like check dams that you see on roadsides that really slow the water down and reduce the force would be good on something like that.
So I would really suggest the planning board requires something a little bit more updated or active on slowing down the water, filtering the water, whatever they need to do. But I'd rather not see it just go out to the lake. So,
Certainly not if there's a possibility of erosion with it. That's last thing we need. And it will carry lawn fertilizer and
yeah,
whatnot,
yep.
and possibly dog poop. That's often the case off of lakeside lawns.
All the runoff from their
Yes.
building.
And
So,
salt from the drive and,
Yep. So yeah, I would suggest that the planning board do require
about it,
something
yeah.
more updated for their stormwater mitigation. Okay. I think I'll put in the comments that we suggest if they're going to build something to add maybe some more trees or something on the other side of their property here.
Yes, and reduce the imperviousness on the house side. Ooh.
Yep, definitely. Alrighty. Keep flying. Sandy Beach, Brickyard. Jim, you said that you and Gary had gone out for this one?
Yep, yep. It seems pretty straightforward. The only thing was the water, the wetland areas there, but it doesn't seem like where they're gonna build the house is in any way affected by that. It's just when you come up their driveway, they might have some water issues with that.
Mike, did you have anything on this one?
No, that it is pretty straightforward. It's in a lot of different like floodplains and steep slopes and agricultural districts, but not where the house is going to be. So they
Yeah, the
made
house
sure
is
that they
flat.
avoided all that. Yeah. So they're good there.
I know
Yeah,
I
he's,
did.
he's talking
Go
about putting geothermal in
Yeah,
and
yeah, he did.
and-
Yep.
he really, yeah, we talked to the guy. He seemed like he was pretty sharp.
He's very
They're definitely
environmental.
gonna need
envir-
their jurisdictional thing before they
Oh,
move
yeah. Yep.
forward.
Mhm.
Oh, they're putting in geothermal, you said?
Well, he's talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, okay, yeah. I'm looking at the next one here.
So in the back of the property, they had silver maple ash swamp. Yes, I know the ash are all dead, but it is still one of those rare habitat types. So they'll definitely not want to do any like clearing or draining of like their wet areas and
No, well, he's a hunter and he was very adamant about keeping everything as natural as possible to keep
Yeah.
it as a
oh,
natural
wonderful.
for the
Yeah.
wildlife.
Oh,
Yeah, very,
super,
very
super.
environmentally conscious.
We
Yeah,
we
he
love to
seemed-
hear that.
Yes. Excellent.
All right.
And you said the driveway might be a problem with water, but it's a stone driveway too, so that'll be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think almost looked like there was no culvert pipe and the water basically, if there was any water, was running over the top of it. So it looked like you could put a culvert pipe in there, raise the driveway up and then, take care of that if it was an issue.
Okay. I would also suggest he retains his hedgerow there because that was, I think, the hardwoods. They just ran right along the edge of the property.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked him about that and he said, no, that was important. And I said,
Okay.
there's no stream or anything running through there because it almost looked, sometimes there is, but
Yeah.
there was not.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear. It's nice to hear when people enjoy the natural resources on their property. So yeah, that was it. Definitely they should not use a lot of lawn care products, given that they've got like shallow emergent marsh and the swamp in back. So definitely go for that Lake Smart lawn care because it would work here too.
Mhm. I would guess they'll probably minimize the lawn anyway, which
That
is a
would be
good
nice.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not a big, huge area.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a small
I can
house.
see what it is. Yeah. It's he-
Very nice.
And he was doing a compliant septic. I mean, it's gonna be raised
Yeah.
because of the percolation
Yeah.
wasn't quite up to.
yeah, raised bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Very nice.
hmm
Was there any other comments, questions?
Nope.
Nope.
Going, gone.
Mhm.
And we did we did those ones, but we have another one on County Road 16. Did you visit this one?
Yes. Yeah, this is pretty straightforward too. It looks like it's on the paperwork I looked at, they called it a barn dominium, which is the new thing. So it looks like it's gonna be a large garage with a small living area. And I think the variance was because it was too close to the property line possibly,
Yeah.
but I think that what I read was that they were trying to hide it. So that, to give from the road, it's nice open view.
But there was the stream setback, right? This one.
Mike,
Yeah,
did
yeah,
you-
that's right. There was a stream.
Yeah,
I
stream
cannot
setback,
see,
yeah.
where is the stream on this? I was having a hard time.
Well,
It's at
I
the
c-
north of the property, I believe.
I can go to Encore. I think I skipped this one inadvertently.
Yeah, it's not in your notes, I noticed.
I guess I just missed it.
Yeah,
There
it's
was
on
a
the
lot.
north.
There was a lot of
of-
stuff. I'm sorry, Mike. What were you saying?
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, it's, that stream's on the north side of the property, right along the property line.
Okay.
It's a functioning stream, if I'm not mistaken, because I used to take care of the property on the other side of Westlake Road, and I can remember water coming down on that property through the stream.
Oh, yep, the stream is right there.
Ah,
I always love it when it like puts it like going through the house. When it looks like it more goes right along here.
This was, wasn't there a property there in the past that was demoed?
It could be.
I think that creek is reinforced there.
Could be. I think
yeah,
that's what
you,
that was the Cook's property, I think.
Yeah, they used to have a
Original.
property on the other side, or when they were doing actually the property, I guess to the east of that. There's a lot of pictures and stuff I remember from that showing that area.
on Apple Maps, it looks like there's a big sort of rock swale in between those two large houses.
Okay.
Yeah, or something.
Hmm.
Is this property, I'm just curious, is it related to that other Humongous Castle house? It's
I
Yeah,
think
you can-
so.
You can
It's
see
the
where
same
it-
owner, I think, as the
same owner. Okay, yeah, that,
3477.
Okay, that's,
Okay.
yeah, I kind of, cause they, I mean, it all came together at the same time.
yeah, it's so close, it looks like they're trying to make it, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's probably a place where they can put all their toys and then maybe have a little guest house. And they're gonna have looks like they're wrapping it with tile and probably tying in their gutters, and then they have a little drainage area there off to by the driveway, stormwater infiltration area.
Yeah, it was pretty substantial, their vegetation plan. I think there was a plan
Yeah.
too for that rip-wrapped area with different plantings and stuff in there to slow everything.
Yeah,
For
they're
the
adding a
house
lot.
for the house that is, sorry.
Yeah. 'Cause those are all added trees, right, that they're showing on that plan?
Yeah, let me
Nothing there now.
Mm,
see what they've. that
Yeah,
they're-
'cause it's just a big field now.
Yeah, there's some trees over on the property line.
Yeah.
River birch, red cedar, sugar maple, red bud, pink dogwood, PG tree, hydrangea, black gum, London plane, putting in blue stem, summer sweet, or hydrangeas, juniper. I can't read what the some sort of cypress, bayberry, scotch grass, Hamlin grass, and viburnums. Not
Yeah,
bad.
are they gonna mow all that grass, or are they doing like a wildflower?
Hard to say.
I would say if they're doing blue stuff, they're probably gonna let some of it grow out.
Yeah,
Um,
I would promote a wildflower, native wildflower,
yes,
so
yes, not mowing would be great.
not mowing 4 acres.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think they're gonna do that. I doubt they'll do that.
Mhm.
It's already
Okay.
been all excavated and reseeded nicely, so
Yeah,
That's-
well, then
that's
that's
pretty
probably
permanent.
good to go. Yeah.
Yeah, if they could make some pollinator areas or some, they can plant meadowy type things with grass. I mean, it's quite a process to do all of that, but because it looks like the grass is mostly around the house. Now, he's got fountain grass marked on there, but he doesn't have it on here. If I remember, fountain grass is not a nice one.
It is not recommended.
Correct. So
Yeah.
I'll have to put in the notes.
Yes.
Um,
Oh,
I would suggest some plantings. Or is they leaving? Is there stuff already there? I can't see. I'm sorry. Was there shrubbery on like this side? I guess there is some.
looks like it's on the, south side?
It would be the north.
That'd be the north side along the stream, sort of.
Yeah, maybe because there's trees over there, it might be shadier.
Mhm.
Mike, what
Yes.
variances were they looking for here?
Just just to the stream. They
Is
go- they
there a
wanna be-
reason why they can't move it back away from the stream?
Yeah, that's what I
That's what
wondered.
we asked them too. They did not give me a clear reason.
I think I read someplace that they wanted to kind of hide it up in there to kind of keep that open lot open so that you know, I guess so you can look at their house, I guess. You can't really see the lake, but
Well, given that this lot is almost 5 acres, they can move it elsewhere on the property. It doesn't have to be next to the stream. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I would say denial on that one. Because how it look
Does-
close,
It does look
close are
like
they
they've got
trying?
plenty of room, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I could look to see how flat it is, but
Yeah,
it's pretty flat.
it's pretty flat.
Yeah.
Might save their basement from flooding,
What,
Yeah,
moving
what-
it away from the stream?
moving it away, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonder if it's on a slab.
I, yeah.
Ah,
So let's change
What's the code? It's supposed to be 50 feet away?
100.
100, okay. And they want to be 34 feet away?
60.
So the variance is to be 30, okay.
Not a
Oh,
lot.
so sorry, this property had said the previous house had the creek go right through the middle of it.
Ah.
Before
the
the
one
two
next-
larger houses came up.
The one next to it had the creek, supposedly.
Yeah, so in between that 3477 and 3439, there used to be a house that went over the creek there.
Okay.
If we're able to go back in time.
So there was a pipe, must have been a pipe.
Yeah, I think it was the early 2000s.
Oh, okay. We'll go all the way back.
Yeah, sorry, it's not what we're here for, but just for the background of the site.
So I would definitely, oh yeah, there's places here. Wow, it looks a lot different.
Yeah,
Okay. So
Yeah, so
are we, oh, go ahead.
Just looking at the plan, it's like, it's clearly one corner of the house that's, encroaching on the stream, so it's, and the garage, I wonder why they can't just swing it around a little further.
I think that would be our suggestion.
I think so too.
So I will put in denial of the variance and 100-foot buffer.
Mhm.
And I would suggest, if they wanted to do some riparian plantings along this edge of their property, that might be nice.
Very good idea.
That would, yeah, and, I mean, if they do that, then we could consider maybe a little less of a variance. My guess is whoever said it's right, they are thinking about the view of their other house.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But that's not an appropriate
Yeah, no, I understand.
response
Not a
for
great
the,
idea.
I know, I'm just, yeah.
this is a self-created hardship.
Very much so.
Exactly.
Very much so.
First world problem.
That's actually one of the variance questions. Huh. Alrighty. Any other comments on this?
Nope.
Nothing here.
So denial, but also recommendation that they plant around to add riparian habitat.
Because I mean, it would you know, help that stream. It would be a buffer for, you know, flooding events sort of thing, you know, if they could put like shrubs and things along there.
Yeah. And if the zoning board lets them have the variance, and that would be even more important.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would agree, yes.
Mhm.
So, all right. And we did the Ashton Place one.
Mhm.
I don't know how I missed that one, but I did. I was doing some of these very late last night, so. So form-based code, they are doing a major update. So the document that's in here is just kind of a list of the changes and stuff that they want to make. And I wouldn't suggest just going through it, but if you have any comments whatsoever on form-based code, because we have looked at a few applications there, I can put it in our comments and send that along. Did anyone have any comments, or I can tell you about some of the things that they're working on that they've suggested? Basically, a lot of what they've suggested is kind of like watering down the original intent of form-based code, because form-based code was based upon, you know, what it looks like. Not so much how it's used, but what it looks like. And it was trying to change the 332 corridor area into being uh, like a prettier entry into Canandaigua. A lot of it was to have, you know, nicer architecture, closer to the road, keep like the parking behind, different things like that, different landscaping requirements. And, you know, some of the things they've kind of pulled back on, it's like, no, you don't have to be closer to the road. You can have parking in the front. So some of these things are really, I think, kind of moving away from the original vision of it. So I was kind of suggesting that maybe they take and work in some the green infrastructure. Jim and I went to a stormwater training yesterday. And there was a couple of people that talked about green infrastructure. So Geneva, Dundee, Buffalo, Fayetteville, some of these places were putting in, you know, like planters for like trees that will suck up stormwater, or you can use different, you know, rain gardens, and it's basically making a greener approach to things. And I was thinking, you know, maybe they can work some of this into their plans to try and improve the looks of the place without saying, you know, like, you can't have your parking in the front, you know, so try and work in some other things, like maybe like, I guess, was this Geneva? Geneva had some like concrete seats, you know, but they were kind of like all decorated. So I was thinking, you know, maybe they could do some art installations. So it kind of speaks to like the cultural aspect of Canandaigua, and like the green infrastructure sorts of things, whether it's like green roofs or rain gardens or whatever, you bring more of that vegetative sort of thing in. And so, because I mean, that's why people are really coming to Canandaigua is the natural appeal. So that was what I kind of came up with. We could put in something about like the 70% native that we talked about for commercial places. We talked about that code from the town of Victor.
Hmm.
We could add something like that in. I don't know. I don't know if anybody has any other ideas.
Yeah, the original intent seemed like quite a stretch to achieve. You know, just thinking of
I agree.
the car dealerships and how those could be, modified to fit the code. It just seemed undoable. So maybe, yeah, exploring some of these other options to kind of improve things, but not having that kind of roadside, appearance that they were trying to make it into kind of a continuation of Canandaigua City Main Street, which just
Yeah.
didn't make sense. But yeah, avoiding a Henrietta appearance.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what I was thinking.
a lot of people talk about West Henrietta Road. They didn't want it to look like West
Right,
Henrietta Road.
right.
And
Mhm.
I agree with them. I think maybe if they focus on some more of that green, and the green infrastructure is also a stormwater mitigation tool. So I mean, it's not a bad thing to put in. There's a
No.
lot of storm events.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, but that was all I could come up with because it was, in my opinion, really kind of watering it down
Mhm.
from the original vision. They did remove the planting because they had a list of specific plants and planting requirements, and they've removed that, and which I was happy about because there was an invasive grass that
Yes,
they
they
had to
had some bad stuff on it, yeah.
and it was very
Mhm.
limited. So
Yes, it was
if
quite
people
restrictive
wanted to
and
be
not
more
particularly good.
yeah. So,
Mhm.
um, any ideas that if you like some of the ideas I mentioned, I can write it up with that because basically we're gonna send
Yeah,
them.
go to.
Okay. Any other ideas that people have for it?
Yeah, spend more time reviewing it, but your ideas seem very good and
Okay.
something we should endorse.
Mhm.
Alrighty. I yeah, I didn't really want to dig into some of the code that they were really talking about. So, alrighty. Um, let's
Can I ask a
see.
quick question on the Ashton Place?
Absolutely.
All right, so you drew our attention to the letter from the Watershed Association,
Yeah.
and there were some pretty serious concerns in there about acreage.
There was
So
some pretty serious
I
concerns.
would like to see us echo those concerns. I mean, it seems like they've done their homework um
Yeah.
and that the acreage is not in the target. So, and that goes to sort of, I think Justin's point too, like, one or two houses less and you could hit your acreage target if they're off, right? So,
hmm What I can do is, as our recommendations, I can recommend that the um, issues brought up by the watershed people in their letter be addressed. And because they spent a lot more time on and really digging into it.
yeah, it was really good.
Mhm.
And that wasn't in the applications we were looking in. That was actually in the variance application. So I brought it over and put it in the workspaces because I thought it would be very useful to see. So
Yeah, because I don't know if everybody had a chance to read that, but saying that the target for those conservation developments is 40%.
mhm.
But that their calculations are showing it's only 28% of conserved land, so that's a big difference in,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, okay, I will definitely refer to that and say that those things that they had brought up should be clarified or addressed. Um, so I think that
Yeah.
will work, right?
Yeah, that's, I mean, it's well written, and they had some issues about the impervious surface
Yeah.
increasing
Hmm.
as well. So, yeah, I'd like to know that those were listened to and addressed by
Okay.
the, yeah.
Perfect. I will add that in. So, all right. Let's see. We can actually do because it's getting kind of late and I don't want to run long. We can talk about the budget at the December meeting. If everybody's good with that.
Where is
Yes,
the
I am.
where is the budget? Is that something I can look at?
No, basically our budget is for training and trees. That's how they usually refer to it. So
Okay.
we the budget is really designed for us to take whatever training and do whatever training we want. And then there's always some left over and we always spend it on parks. Like getting shrubs or trees or whatever. Now I did touch base with Greg Reynolds and he said that there were some trees that they were looking to replace. So they may have some ideas, and I hadn't reached out to his assistant yet, so I will have to do that. See what they're thinking. But if you want, we can talk about that at the December meeting. And Greg Reynolds is going to come to our December meeting. He's been talking with me, and they're going to have some different programming and things like that. And they're looking for us to be kind of co-sponsoring it with them and, well, basically giving our time to it, and stuff like that. And there would be different things like walks or educational things for kids. So I think it would be really good. And he also had the thing he sent along that was about a program for park rangers. So there's one for kids, there's one for all ages. And so we could give some feedback on that as well. I think it will be good. It will be a nice way for us to give back some time and do some educational outreach and things like that. That is more than just, reviewing applications, which is important, but it's nice to do some of the other stuff too. I will be working on a year-end report, so if anybody wants anything included in that, send that along to me.
Okay, what is our budget? Like, what's the amount?
I think it's usually someplace around $1,500.
Okay.
That's
Minus,
been the usual, yes.
yeah, minus whatever
Okay.
we spent for training, whatever's come off of our budget.
Mhm.
It's usually not all that very much comes off of our budget. So we usually have close to $1,500 to spend. Which is, a lot of trees and I would suggest any trees that they purchase, they buy some protection for them. So, otherwise, they get like ate down by deer or, it makes them more visible to mowers.
Right.
A
Do they-
lot
they
of the
take-
trees, yeah, suffer lawnmower blight.
Yeah.
And they
So-
take care of the watering? The crews?
The parks
Yeah,
department
I see they
does.
usually
Yeah.
put those bags around them, which are probably
They
good.
do, but they have to, the problem has been that they don't refill them.
Yeah, okay.
An empty bag does not much,
Yeah.
that's the main thing, is that they need to refill. especially in a summer like we've had now. It's
Yeah.
been, that's been the problem. It's not the lack of bags.
And that's something that we can definitely, when Greg comes, you can definitely touch base with him about any of those types of things that you're seeing that would be good for the parks the parks guy to know that they have to fill up those more and stuff
Yes,
like that. So
maintenance is a lot
Maintenance,
cheaper
yeah.
than buying new trees.
Right. And always a
Definitely.
protection because of the deer or.
Yes, and mulch, not black plastic, but mulch
yeah,
around the trees.
plastic. And no mulch volcanoes.
Yes, exactly. Oh my.
But yeah, that would also be, if there's things that we can share with them, or the tree team can share with them. And I mean, it can all, go through us.
Mhm.
We'd be happy to, have that dialogue going forward. Let's did you get the email on the lady from the school bounced back about when she was hoping to do
Oh,
something?
really? No,
Edith?
I didn't see that. When did she want to?
Um, I'm not going to open my email now. I'll forward that along to you.
If you will, please. Thank you.
Because otherwise Google's going to complain when we try and upload the video.
Yes.
They don't like to see email in there. So
No.
they rejected one of the ECB recordings for that.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm like,
Okay.
I'm not going to open it right now.
Well, good, but yes, please let me know. Mhm.
I will send that along. And if I can help you or anything, let me know.
Okay, I will.
And I think that was all I had. Did anybody have anything?
No, good meeting, good discussion.
Thank you, everyone. And we'll try and do an in-person in December, because I like with the guests, the in-person, it tends to be a little
Yeah.
nicer.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
okay.
All right.
All
Great.
right.
Yeah.
Everybody have a good
Thanks.
night.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Have
Take
a
care.
great
Good
one.
night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.